Hey, Cecilia here. Welcome to Clutter Wednesdays. And today we are going to talk about how it's not so much what you do, it is how you do it. And I don't know if you saw my video last week, but I've been going through a bit of a perfectionist sticky patch. And actually, because of a conversation that I had with my partner around painting, yes, we're still painting, but we're almost done. Um, I'll just give you the short version of the story. So I was getting ready to go to Manitoulin because I needed a vacation. And to prepare for my vacation, I decided that I really needed to finish painting the kitchen. And I should probably change it to say that my perfectionist decided that this is what had to happen. And so the time that should have been spent, or that I had wanted to spend connecting with my partner and um, having some time with him before I went away so that I could go away and it could be nice and he could have his time by himself and I could have my time by myself. I spent all of the time that was supposed to be quality time together painting. That meant up until late in the evening, the night before I left, and in the morning until just before I had to leave to go, which made the leaving much more stressful, and it made the painting really stressful, and it made everything super stressful. So when I came back, we had planned to paint the bathroom together, and I was sort of still in a bit of a perfectionist snit. The color for the kitchen wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I know these are all like major first world problems. And then like the tape didn't work and it peeled off some of the paint and so it wasn't perfect and I was feeling so angry and so worked up and I had just been away and then I'm back and I'm still angry about the painting and it's still sort of taking up way more space than it needs to. And my partner reflected to me that it was actually quite stressful for him to see me this way. And we were preparing to paint the bathroom together, and he made a request of me. And that request was to open and to approach the painting of the bathroom differently than the painting of the bedroom, and or not the bedroom, of the kitchen, and to see how we could make it fun. Because my perfectionist definitely has a tendency towards grumpy dwarf and just pushing through and like that the getting it done is the most important part. And whenever I focus on things that way, it usually doesn't feel very good. I can maybe get there after the fact, but the doing the thing, and even when it's done, my professionals will find what's wrong with it. It's not a very satisfying way of doing it. So I really appreciated my partner not only reflecting the impact that my perfectionism has on him, but also for inviting me to open. And a word on opening. Sometimes when we open, we have to feel things that we don't want to feel. We might have to feel some sadness or some grief or some discomfort. For me, it was a pain in my heart that I didn't really know what that was about. But once I moved into this idea that this could be done, that it could be done differently, and that I could come from a place of opening, it was actually super fun. And so I decided to paint my bathroom wearing nothing but a pair of white panties. And that sure made it much more fun. And it was interesting because it got to the point where I was at the point where I could do more, but I was really hungry and I could feel myself flirting with the getting into the pushing part. And after talking it through with my partner, um, he was like, "No, maybe don't do more painting now." And then I'm like, "Well, but I could do laundry." So this part like I wanted to fill in, and he made the reflection which I found really helpful for me, because again I've said this before, but I think it's important for me to remind you that I teach what I need to learn. I'm not an expert on this. I'm still learning, and although I'm much better than I used to be. And he said, you know, Cecilia, whenever you have a little bit of time, you try to cram as much into it as you can. Um, and I was like, yeah, that's true. So what should I be doing now? There was going to be half an hour. He had something to do before we could go eat. And he said, you're going to sit on the couch. And so I did. I sat on the couch. I sat right here in this corner, and I read a book for half an hour. And it was actually really lovely. And the whole day was lovely. And what was really interesting is I got as much done as I would have otherwise. Like maybe if I'd been in my grumpy dwarf character, I could have pushed through and gotten a little bit more done, but it wouldn't have been worth it. So the way you do things, the quality of the space that you're in when you're doing things makes a difference. So my invitation for you this week is to give that a try. Try for quality rather than quantity. Try for the quality of the experience of doing it rather than the end result. Because the perfectionist is only interested in the end result, and when you're done, the end result is never good enough. So what are you going to do? The only thing that you can do is open. So go forth, fuck clutter, and see if you can open a little bit along the way. Love you lots, and I'll see you next week.